Air quality in Singapore is likely to hover between the high end of the moderate range and the low end of the unhealthy range over the next few days. But the National Environment Agency said at a media briefing today that it could worsen if haze from the region is blown in.
Well, the haze in Singapore eased today with the Pollutant Standards Index staying firmly at moderate levels. Latest figures from NEA show that the 24-hour PSI is between 64 and 66.
The hourly PM 2.5 readings, which measure the concentration of tiny particles in the air, are in the normal band across the board. But NEA says these could fluctuate between the normal and elevated bands over the next 24 hours.
Based on its PSI forecast for the next day, NEA advises the public to reduce or minimize strenuous outdoor physical activities, and those with chronic lung or heart disease should avoid them.
Air quality across the island improved slightly, driven by winds of change. Satellite images from Thursday showed winds blowing in from the southeast, pushing haze particles from hotspots in Indonesia away from Singapore. But a shift in wind direction could spell bad news.
The Singapore Weather Agency has forecasted that PSI readings could move into the midsection of the unhealthy range if dense haze is blown in by changes in wind conditions. This could mean cloudy skies for the upcoming Formula One race happening this weekend. But the good news is that early next week, showers and changes in wind directions could provide a brief respite for Singapore.
With the haze situation in Indonesia showing no signs of cooling off, Singapore is closely monitoring hotspots. More than 960 hotspots were detected on Friday by satellites like these. Those moving around are able to capture high-resolution images as they are closer to Earth, while the satellites that are fixed take snapshots of a particular area regularly. The data collected, as well as other factors like current air quality and the weather forecast, are used to predict PSI readings for the next 24 hours and provide health advisories. As to whether Singapore will see a repeat of the severe haze in 2015, which was the worst in recent years, this is still very much up in the air.
In 2015, we had a record strong El Nino. This year, well, whether the haze is as bad as 2015, it all depends on various factors. Okay, we have how intense the fires continue, how long they continue, depends on the wind conditions, whether it's going to be blown towards us or not. So there are various conditions, there are various factors that affect how the haze situation will turn out.
And if the situation deteriorates, the Health Ministry says the country has a stockpile of 16 million masks that can be released to the market when required. It says there's no need to wear a mask if you're outdoors for a short period. But if it's for several hours, vulnerable persons should wear them if PSI is above 200, and healthy individuals should do so when PSI is above 300. As for impact on workers, the Manpower Ministry says employers should monitor the haze situation and adjust outdoor work accordingly.